Good morning and welcome back to another video. We've got a very special video for you today because I am talking about my race experience at the London Triathlon this year. This was my main A race for the season and I was hoping to use this to qualify for the World Triathlon Championship in my age group, which is 20 to 24. So, did I make the qualification? Did the race go well? Did I manage to survive what was incredibly terrible weather? Well, we're going to hop into it all now. So let's talk a little bit about the lead up that I had going into this race. I hadn't raced since Bedfordshire, which there's a video for just up there, but that was a couple of months ago now. I've had some really solid training blocks since then, really been working on my swimming and my cycling to get some excellent times in those two, and I think that really paid off in the race. Come race day, we had a really short journey from here. It only took us about half an hour to get there on the tube, and then racking my bike, closing my race pack, all of that good stuff was really simple, quick and easy, so thumbs up massively to the organisers of what is a humongous race in the whole scale of things. However, for some reason the age group race started later in the day. I wasn't racing until 9:20, whereas the first participants were off at 7 AM. I'd never complained about a slightly later start, as I think that suits me better as an athlete. However, that did create some problems, as the waves just before mine and the other age group waves were some of the people who were maybe doing their first ever triathlon, and so it ended up being that, especially in the swim, many of the competitors in my wave were overtaking wave after wave after wave of the competitors coming before them. This created an incredibly hectic swim where it was almost impossible not to go into the back of people occasionally. Even though this was a pulse start and not a mass start, it still felt as physical, if not more physical, than many of the mass start events that I've done, simply because you keep having to come into the back of a pack from another wave and going through them, moving around them getting in your way, you getting in their way. It's just almost impossible to do that and not have some sort of physical contact. Thank God though, this didn't stop me from having my best swim in a triathlon so far, doing 24 minutes and 35 seconds. For me, this was a pretty steady pace, nothing too high. I didn't want to absolutely wreck myself on the swim. I just wanted to put myself in a good enough position as to where I wasn't having to claw my way back on the bike. Coming out of the water was when the weather really started to turn. I don't have any footage to show you quite just how bad the weather was, but believe me when I say it was almost cataclysmic for the bike leg of the run. The rain felt like hail when we were out there, with the amount of wind coming pretty much straight on us on the out leg of both laps of the bike course. It just kept bringing that rain straight into your face. It was really, really unpleasant. For me, mentally, there were definitely a couple of low points on that out leg of the bike, thinking that I might not be able to do the time that I wanted or not complete it simply because of the weather. And I think that did stop a lot of competitors. I saw a number of people getting flats, coming off their bike and having road rash down one side. And I even saw one person in the back of an ambulance while the police were slowing some of us cyclists as we went around. Obviously, there's no way that you can kind of get around having bad weather on race day. And of course I would have liked, you know, sunny, still, calm conditions. But I do think that I managed to adapt and overcome to do a really good bike leg where the worst of the weather ended up affecting us. However, I could definitely do better, and I think that's what I'm going to aim to improve on the most when it comes into my final triathlon of the season. I hadn't absolutely hammered it on the bike, and so I was pretty ready to set an incredible time for myself on the run. I ended up setting a personal best on the road and a personal best off the bike. I ran 41 minutes for a 10k, which isn't incredible, especially compared to some of the other competitors within my age group and the age group above. But for me, my previous best was a 45 minute off the bike. So a 41 minute was absolutely amazing. I felt brilliant coming into that run. For the first 2 or 3 Ks of the run, I was running sub 4 minute Ks, which is absolutely amazing pace for me when I'm doing a brick session. And again, the weather picked up, but unlike the bike, I really didn't let that faze me. I was absolutely loving the run, smiling the whole time, really enjoying it. I just found my flow, which is something I haven't ever quite been able to do with a run coming off of a bike. And so that brings me to 2 hours and 15 minutes and, I don't know, 30 something seconds. I can't quite remember off the top of my head now, but I'll put it right up there. That is a significant personal best for me. My previous personal best was 2:28 something, which is what I did at Bedfordshire 6 or 7 weeks ago now. So I am absolutely thrilled. I really couldn't have asked for a better race. Yes, the weather conditions were pretty terrible, but regardless of that, I'm really pleased with my personal performance. So where did that 2:15 put me in my age group? Well, unfortunately, I didn't make it into the top 4 needed for age group world championship automatic qualification. I came 6th in my age group. However, I was within 115% of the first place athlete within my age group, and so I'm still eligible for a roll down place if that is available. Now that's going to take a few weeks to see how that goes, and so if anything comes of it, I'll let you guys know, but we just have to wait and see. This is definitely not the last time that I'm going to go for a age group spot. I think that I'm going to go for Europeans next year and possibly Worlds again once the qualification races of both of those are announced. Overall, it was a really good experience being part of the age group wave. There were some seriously tough competitors in this wave with me. Many previous GB age group athletes and just really good all-round triathletes. Being able to go head to head with people of equal or greater skill than me really made me understand where I can improve and what I need to do to reach that next level and really excel in my age group. For me, it's got to be just maintaining that swim improvement that I've done and really hammering home the last bits of improvement that I can get in my bike and my run for this season. To aid in the running, I've signed up for a 10K. I'll be doing that on the 5th of September here in central London, which will be really nice. And I'm aiming to bring that 10K time to sub 40 minutes. So if you are interested in seeing some of my 10K training sessions and how I progress with that, subscribe to the channel to see all of those updates. And I'm also going to be pushing my cycling as hard as I can, especially on the turbo, focusing on remaining in that TT position, which is something I really struggled with in this race. And that's all to prepare me for my final race of the season, which is going to be the season finale triathlon at Dorney Lake on the 19th of September. I absolutely cannot wait. There may be a couple more races in between now and then, and possibly even after, although I am really looking forward to a break before I knuckle down for some good winter off-season training to really improve and focus on making some sort of push to a semi-professional or age group level next year. That's it for this video. If you want to follow my progression as we move to the final races of my season and into next year going semi-pro, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, tell a friend about it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.